What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? I am One Nut Wonder, and tonight, bringing you PulseFire Gaming's LCS-style amateur tournament. We do have all the teams. Last week we had the qualifiers, and 16 teams did get moved on to the next round, and that is what this is. We are all in lobby. All the teams are here. The teams tonight that we will be seeing is going to be Dark Revenants versus Elite Synergy. That will be Game 1. Game 2, we are going to see Event Horizon Gaming versus Dark Hedo Gaming. And for Game 3, we will see Elite Synergy coming back, as well as Team East Coast. For anyone that was here last time, you will get to see that team duke it out again. They are a very entertaining team. I want to thank everyone, and as always, I am accompanied by a wonderful individual who is...
Hello, I'm here. I'm Glios, and I will, I don't know. I'll try to entertain you guys. I'll try to, I don't know. I'm kind of groggy right now. We'll see how it goes.
Kind of groggy. Well, hopefully these games will shake that up for you.
Hopefully.
All right.
Good games happen.
Well, without further ado, let's get this started. So we do have Team 1 that is going to be making up Elite Synergy, and then we have Dark Revenants on the other. I'm sorry, flip that around. Team 1 is Dark Reverence, the other is Elite Synergy. And how is everyone doing tonight? Everyone having a great night, I hope?
I'm having a great night.
Well,
I just ate some pizza, which is basically my whole diet at this point. It's kind of scary, actually.
Just pizza, huh?
Yeah, pizza.
Well,
Do you have any idea how cheap a pizza can be if you make everything from scratch?
I know DiGiorno pizza's dirt cheap. If I'm not mistaken, it's only $5.
Yeah, there's a lot of food in it too. Okay, Ziggs.
Interesting to see Ziggs.
Yeah.
I remember back, we did see Ziggs support played once a while ago. That was absolutely amazing. Some great plays ended up being made, and a lot of poke in that lane, some disengage, as well as a little bit of a global ability. So clearly maybe someone's been doing some research and doesn't want to see him.
Well, of course that, which is the more unorthodox. Oh, we're having some cue problems here. The more unorthodox way of doing it. And then, of course, Ziggs being looked at as one of the best mages right now, because no one beats his range. He basically does everything Nidalee does, but better most of the time. Can be some exceptions, though. But his range and overall scaling into the late game becomes ridiculous, and no one wants to deal with that.
That's so true, and he is one of those crazy late game carries where you're sitting there, all right, we're just going to get into this mid-game slow push, and then you realize, oh, Ziggs just cleared our whole minion wave. What are we going to push?
Yeah, just note that with one bomb, and I'm pretty sure that gets on a 3-second cooldown at the end. It's pretty ridiculous. Zyra, we're seeing a team with a person named best Lee Sin in the world. They ban Lee Sin.
Which is only understandable.
This.
I agree. I mean, his name says he's the best. If you take away his champion, what's he gonna play? I mean, Lee Sin's blind normally. I can't imagine him playing any champion if he can't see the screen.
True. We're seeing a decent Leona. Leona's also banned. Man, this sucks.
No, Leona being either picked or banned every single game last tournament here because she's so powerful. She brings so much damage and CC, and by damage, it's that passive of hers, the sunlight procs over and over and over.
Yeah, the passive is extremely underrated, and if you manage to proc all those different damage ticks, it, like, even early game, it adds up to a ridiculous amount. And that's why champions like Leona and Lucian, for instance, very popular combo, just because of Lucian being able... Oh my god, they left Cassette?
I was wondering how long it would take for you to notice they left Cassidon and Evelyn open.
Okay. Kassadin, do anyone need an explanation of how powerful he is right now? He breaks the game, flat out. Like he has not particularly been buffed in any way, but just the game itself has sort of evolved and evolved hugely to Kassadin's benefit. He does everything, usually better than any other champion, except for pushing, which can be fixed by just buying some mana and just rift walking the hell of the. Oh my god, this is so great.
This is such a throwback. I mean, I have not seen a Mordekaiser in competitive play in so long.
Yeah.
I think it's like back to Season 2 was the last time I saw it. I'm super excited for this.
Now Mordekaiser, I think we'll be able to just outpush this Kassadin and hopefully bully him in lane. But it's always that roam. Like, it seems like no matter how much you push a Kassadin down, he just somehow manages to get up again. And mostly that is because he doesn't have the best AP scaling, but his base scaling is one of the best in the games.
And that's,
game, I mean.
I completely agree. And what's crazy to see is the champions that are being picked on Dark Reverence. They have 3 APs. They have so much burst damage that anyone they focus out is immediately going to die, and Mordekaiser's going to get the ghost.
Definitely. My thought process in the late game, I'm thinking they will use all their force on Vayne, because a Mordekaiser with a Vayne ghost is going to be one of the most scariest thing ever. But then again, you have the Kassadin, and Mordekaiser and Morgana won't really be that easy to just burst down. But Xerath, I'm seeing he's gonna have some problems. Same with Kassadin, very interesting pick if he picks that.
I think it's gonna be that Xerath mid versus the Kassadin. They're gonna be putting Mordekaiser up top.
Teleport. That's my bad. I thought Mordekaiser was a counter to the Kassadin. Okay, well, I don't know how that works.
We'll have to see.
We'll see. Is he seriously going to take Clarity, though?
I definitely see Clarity and Revive. I'm not sure. Maybe he's going to change the Clarity to Teleport, or he wants to just have the Clarity for early pushing power on Kassadin, keeping him at his tower. We'll have to see where it comes into play. But a very interesting team coming out for Blue with Jarvan and Xerath and Varus.
It's a very crazy team, yeah.
Ton of lockdown.
Now, on Purple team, we see a cookie cutter, very strong team all around. Basically, you have that early dominance with Vi's amazing early ganks, and even though it's Nasus and Vayne, who aren't the best early games, if they survive that early game, mid and late game is gonna go through like a breeze. This confuses me.
I'm a little curious who the support's gonna be for Purple Team. I mean, they had the Teemo, now they're going over to the Skarner. We'll see again. They're just kind of messing around, playing with the opponent's minds, just as they're playing with ours.
This makes more sense.
There we go. Great choice on the Lulu, because if Vi dives into the backline and Lulu uses Overgrowth, I mean, immediately they're all going to be popped up and slowed.
Same thing with Kassadin, actually. Works basically the same way. Just Rift Walk into there and get a knock up on pretty much everyone. Or Nasus. It's generally a very good pick. Lulu's ultimate being a very good utility, slowing everyone around them and just causing havoc, basically.
Now we are going to see Xerath changing up, grabbing the barrier as well as the flash. Great choice, so that if he does get dove on from the Vi and Kassadin, they're going to have a ton of burst damage at 6. And picking up barrier is the ultimate way to counter burst. You just play smart. You bait him into your tower, pop the barrier, turn around and fight, and you can pick up counter kills.
That is a very important thing I've seen. LeBlanc has been a very popular pick lately, just because of the matches that's been going on in a competitive scene. And people say, "Oh, it's so crazy. She has kill potential from level 2. You just got to bring barrier. Like, it makes stuff so much easier. And you having barrier necessarily doesn't mean that you won't get a kill. If you're a champion with a lot of damage naturally, most of the time you don't even need ignite, and you still get kills. So it's a very interesting thing. I'm not really sure when barrier started getting into the mid lane.
I really have seen the barrier being picked up. It started with the Gragas plays. When people were going up against Gragas, they were picking up barrier to make sure that they don't get bursted out in lane.
Yeah.
That
I've
was the
seen a
biggest
lot of
start.
Nidalees take barrier, a lot of passive champions who just want to farm and try to get a lot of items for the mid and late game. It's a very interesting spell, and it really does rival Ignite, even though it's not as popular. It's a very good pick.
Very true. And it's funny to see that they had barrier in Howling Abyss, and they brought it over to Summoner's Rift,
Yeah,
where it
yeah, that's
was
interesting.
completely erased. It was all heal in the beginning. Everyone grabbed heal, didn't matter. Ignite, who cared? You were picking up heal. As soon as barrier came over, everyone dropped heal. That was gone, and it was everyone with barrier.
Yeah, I've been wondering what their. I've seen some Reddit posts by Riot employees talking about a heal rework, which will apparently work a different way. Not being an AoE, but actually a target. So you heal a specific champion. Well, I presume it's more than what it is right now, because it's just weak in general at this point. Exhaust just works better for supports.
Absolutely.
It just why would you heal damage when you can just stop the damage outright? You know.
Now, something to look at for blue team, they have no ignite. Nasus is going to be able to heal through everything, as well as Vayne into the late game. Unless
This is
they
very scary.
unless they blow somebody up immediately, they're just going to sustain through every single fight.
I think they're gonna go for a very aggressive start here. Try to get as much dominant, like be as dominant as possible in their lane. Because if they lose early game, purple team is not going to fall off in any way possible. Their team is very strong.
Absolutely. This is going to come straight down to that first team fight, if it's going to be a dragon, if it's going to be at a turret in specific. But blue team is looking for those big team fights. That's what they want. And they just got to get there. They just got to get there.
This is going to be interesting. I'm calling it that we're probably going to see some very early Jarvan ganks, especially on that Kassadin. Only having that flash, of course, when he's level 6, basically unkillable. Unless you do some big mistakes or get CC'd for several seconds. Seeing, a lot of skins there, actually.
Oh, yeah, a lot of beautiful skins. I like the Lulu, the Nasus, Vi, and Kassadin for purple team here. A little bit out of place. However,
Yeah.
same with blue team. 3 skins to 3 skins. They don't have that skin intimidation or that skin to win, as they say.
Yeah. There's no particularly good skins on Mordekaiser though. Not a very loved champion, both by staff and players.
Not since they removed his codpiece, that's for sure. Now, one thing.
Did you? Sorry. Did you play? When did you start playing League?
Well, I've been playing League. Oh, probably 3 months after it was released. Friends told me, "Hey, you should play this game," and been playing since.
Then you know what I'm talking about when I say Season 1 Mordekaiser.
Oh, Season 1 Mord was just as bad as Season 1 Morgana, if you remember those days.
Oh yeah, Morgana and who else was it? I can't remember. Okay, the game. We're seeing. Yeah, the team's just. Oh, what? We gotta pause straight in there.
I'm interested to see how the teleports are going to come into play. Whenever you see a NASA teleport, he's going to come out with Wither. He's going to have the slow to just disrupt the team, as well as a ton of burst damage, where when Mordekaiser comes in, he's going to throw down his ultimate and cross his fingers? Just a little curious as to how that's going to play out.
They don't have a lot of... I mean, they do have a lot of lockdown, kind of. There's a lot of skill shots involved, so hopefully they can be able to hit those. Of course, you have the Xerath stun, the Morgana Q, the freaking Varus ultimate, and then Jarvan's everything. So I'm thinking most likely they're going to try to go for the Vayne, but Vayne has a ridiculous front line right now. Vi most likely going tanky. Nasus does what Nasus does, and Lulu's just going to be protecting her as much as possible. But if they manage to get the clone of Vayne somehow, that's going to be a huge benefit, considering she will probably build a lot of attack speed. So that's going to be pretty scary.
Oh yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out here, as everyone kind of spreading out, doing the normal defense. Except for blue team, who looks to be trying to start something here.
That is, maybe?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Oh, Morgana
they're
does start
definitely...
binding.
Yeah.
Are we gonna see
now,
that?
They're definitely not... Are we gonna see the Kassadin face check this?
I don't know. It doesn't look like he wants to. Everyone on purple team just kind of spread out, making sure that they're nice and safe. They don't want to make a mistake. That early flash, that early summoner being blown could be a recipe for disaster in the lane.
Minions have
Oh, definitely. I think purple just wants to farm because they know that they have a better team overall when the game starts really going and you get some farming items in there. So, blue actually just taking a passive route here. Now, I'm interested to see the Mordekaiser and Nasus.
Mord's
gonna be a very farm lane.
Mord's gonna push out Nasus early, just due to the fact that his skills force him to push. Nasus Under Tower is a great farmer, but when it comes to a little bit later, Nasus building just a touch of magic resistance is all he's going to need, and he's gonna be able to just beat this Mordekaiser.
So, we're seeing some special shenanigans in mid lane here. Bot lane actually going middle, which is interesting considering the new turret changes. And so they're most likely going just for the passive Xerath farm. I honestly don't see this working because Lulu already having some real aggression on here.
Well, you gotta think they're doing it because they feel that Xerath can do that 2v1, which is not bad. He can just keep using Arcano Pulse and farms fine, where Kassadin walks up and farms one minion every 8 seconds. That's it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, considering the bot lane turrets are weaker now, bot lane is most likely going to get that turret very quickly. You're seeing Xerath already losing some health and having to use his first charge of his flask. So, as you said, Mordekaiser, oh shit!
But there's the Vi coming top with the red buff. Mordekaiser does have flash available, but he is not going to want to use it, constantly being slowed from Vi. Nasus, without the ability to wither, he's just going to walk away.
Just a disrespect mace to the face there. It's pretty terrible. So we're seeing, of course, mid lane just trying to make this Kassadin as useless as possible, and that is a very important thing to do.
When we see
Jarvan, he's a very scary champion.
I agree, he is so terrifying. And Jarvan wanted to make that play up there. He looked, but no cigar. Does show a little bit early. That's just gonna force him back.
For people who do not know, Kassadin has the highest ban rate right now, at about 86% or something. It's something crazy like that. Considered by many the most broken champion in the game right now. So, him being open in a competitive game like this is very interesting. Gonna see some action from Vi here, perhaps?
Vi's looking to just give a little bit of relief in the mid lane, but it turns out to be a backfire. She's going to be forced down to half HP and just runs back into the jungle.
Well,
it's crazy to see this.
Kassadin. Oh, look at this Lulu just bullying Xerath.
Well, she's trying to, and she's doing a great job. Xerath's forced to use his mana to harass as opposed to farm, which
very
is what he needs to change his mindset. He needs to be getting that CS as opposed to trying to harass. But that flash down from Kassadin is just going to be begging Jarvan to come and visit.
Yeah, Kassadin thinking that the...
Oh, that bar is cute.
Kassadin thinking that the minion would not block there, actually wasting his flash for no reason, and that's going to be very easy to gank. As we can see, Kassadin's level 4 now. It's still going to take him some time to get to that magical level of 6, where he gets his OP flash ability.
That is so very true. And if Jarvan can rush to 6 immediately and goes and visits mid and kills Kassadin before Ripwalk is up, it'll be a kill, no problem.
Oh yeah, and if you die as Kassadin that early, that's gonna be a huge blow. As Kassadin, you just want to play passively and hopefully just farm in peace for the first few minutes, because you basically can't do anything until level 6. That's when the fun starts, at least for when you're playing Kassadin. So we're seeing top lane here. They seem to be pretty equally paired here. 28 to 34. Mordekaiser having a bit of a lead there. And Nasus has been back once.
Oh, we do see Jarvan in bottom. Getting a little bit of gauge on. He was trying to clear out those minions, and Vi showed up saying, oh, you wanted some of these? Well, you're going to have to take a couple punches to the mouth first. Oh, we do see Kassadin, though, in mid with no flash, taking tons of damage. And that's just the power of an ADC in middle. You see Jarvan and Xerath making a little bit of a play, but Vane's no problem going to be able to take up that turret.
Yeah, here we see the turret being stolen. And that's what was, in my opinion, the biggest flaw of that plan, considering bot lane turret now is a lot weaker early game than the top and middle. It makes for a very easy target, and that's going to be some very easy gold for the purple team. And you don't want to give purple team gold. Their team is just too scared for that at this point.
It's still an incredibly close game. I mean, no big plays have happened. First blood, everyone's still staying alive, some by the skin of their teeth, but alive is alive. And if you look, that lane change didn't work out too bad for purple team. They're all staying really pretty close in farm. Nobody's crushing the other, so that's good on their part. And they're up the tower.
Yeah, Xerath not really being able to farm that effect.
Xerath trying to snipe the blue buff with the ultimate. Beautifully timed. Did have that warded. Vi taken incredibly low, but they did not get the blue buff here. And Xerath's going to have to go home very low on mana.
Xerath is quite behind at this point, 24 CS, same as the Jarvan, basically. And that's going to hurt them in the mid game, where Xerath is needed for that extra bit of AoE. So hopefully he'll just get some time to farm out the bot lane, considering Kassadin is there now. But then again, I don't know if Kassadin can just...
we see
onto Vayne here.
Oh, and there goes the Varus ultimate as well, but the Black Shield did come a little bit late. Exhaust going down. They're going in for the Vayne. However, she is going to escape. So close. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and this is League of Legends.
This is a very clutch ninja dodge with her tumble there. We're seeing some clashing in the jungle here, maybe, from Jarvan and Vi. In that tri-lane.
Oh, look at that! Xerath putting so much damage. Does get the flash, looking for the auto attack, and picks up the first blood as well as in top. We are going to see Nasus taking incredibly low, but he's going to be using his ultimate. They're going to pick up the kill on Mordekaiser, and they're going to continue on that assault. They're trying to go for Jarvan, and that is going to be a 2 kill for 1 to the Vi. That was an insane play.
I'm not sure if Kassadin had Rift Walk, or if Xerath started the combo the second he did Rift Walk. Either case, that is very, very nicely played from the Xerath there. And as I said, he was behind not so much anymore. They're equal in farm, and of course that kill is really going to help. And hopefully Xerath can just bring this lane to victory.
We're going to hope so, as Vi finally going on back, picking up her Spirit Stone, so she's going to clear that jungle extra quickly now. And we see everyone else, Vayne picking up the BF sword, that best friend. And that's going to give her a huge advantage over the Varus here.
We're seeing the Nasus picking up a coil, basically making him impossible to kill for Mordekaiser alone, considering he does not have the best burst damage. He has more of a DPS style, and that regeneration plus the healing from his passive is going to make him just a farming machine. Oh, some action towards
we do see the Varus ultimate coming out, as well as the binding into the pop-up. Lulu using the ultimate. It's not going to be enough, though, as the shackles do echo, and Vi coming in to try and make something happen here.
Cass coming in from the side.
Oh, the flash from the Varus as Cass does show up. And then the counter flash from Morgana as well. 2 flashes for blue team do just get wasted, and purple's going to back off.
Yeah, very nicely played. I'm seeing some really good Varus ultimates here. Using that to its full effect, just catching people off guard. Being gotten caught twice now. Luckily, avoided death the first time, but the second time was just too much. And we might see a dragon fight here.
Oh, we see they're trying to. Blue team's going on to the dragon. Vi does get the lockdown. However, that beautiful spell shield is going to make sure nothing happens. We do see the Nasta teleport in, and then Jarvan's taken so low as Morgana as well so low. That is going to be a Vayne double kill, and she's looking for more. We are going to see Varus using the barrier. However, he's going to die as Kassadin picks up the kill, and it's nothing but Xerath. He is sitting there trying to put the damage down. But there's that barrier as we saw, and too little, too late. Purple team walking out with 4 kills for nothing.
That was not planned. Mordekaiser are going to get that top lane, but honestly, not worth the dragon and 4 kills. They did not think that Vayne would be able to get there that quickly, and the Nasus just teleporting in. That was a huge mess. And that's gonna bring purple team to the point where they want to be. They're at least wanting to keep this and just farm out, and hopefully just try to dominate the game from now on.
And that was the fight that purple needed. That is going to give them a huge advantage, and as a mid-game team, and then to a late-game team, this is not what blue wanted at all. They wanted to try and take that dragon, but they needed to back off. They didn't expect Vi to go as ham, and Vayne to show up just like you said. Kassadin came in, laying down the silences, putting some hurt in, and Nasus with that beautiful teleport. That's all it took to win that fight. So we do see a little bit of an engage onto Morgana here. Vayne using the final hour, going in so much damage, but the Varus ult to try and counter, and purple team's just gonna back on off. Mordekaiser's coming in, does get the ultimate, but one more auto attack isn't gonna be enough. They're looking, it's ticking. But the Lulu with the shield as Kassadin picks up the kill on Morgana. Varus is trying to run away here as Xerath shows up, looking for the lockdown on somebody, but a beautiful dodge from the Vi is gonna get this right disengaged.
Wow, they are respecting each other when it comes to this game. They are just being so careful. Everyone is just almost dying every single time. And even though purple got that kill, and got those kills and dragon, we still see blue team bringing on the domination, which is a very good thing. If you can keep doing this, keep pressuring different lanes, do it. Don't be scared. Oh, we're seeing a very hard engagement.
Jarvan does go in a little bit ham as his team does not follow up. They wanted to push onto the tower, but this looks as if blue team's just going to back off, take the little bit of the advantage they have, just continue it on. Oh, Kassadin chasing, getting so greedy. He's low on mana, and that's everything that he's got.
Kassadin not having the most amazing damage right now, only having a Catalyst, the Protector, and a Blasting Wand. Once he gets that Rod of Ages and a Rabadon's Cap, his true colors will show. and it's going to be a very big problem for everyone, basically. Can kill either Varus or Xerath with ease most of the time. But we'll see if Xerath manages to stun, or if Varus does an amazing ultimate or something. There's always a way to stop a Kassadin. He's not unstoppable in any way. It's just a lot harder to stop him in most cases.
Absolutely, and if you look, there's no one to single target stun the Kassadin, which is what you want. First thing you do, you see Kassadin, you pick up a Tarek, you pick up like Leona, somebody who has a ton of lockdown to keep him in place and allow your team to burst him out. But they don't have anyone, they gotta rely on maybe a Xerath or the Varus ultimate to lock down this highly mobile champion.
Yeah, that's gonna be the biggest problem. Hopefully their skill shots can make up for that. So we're seeing Xerath going to the bot lane. Kassadin may want to go mid lane and try to force a fight. They're seeing Jarvan removing their vision here. And right now they're just playing very carefully. They don't want to... Even though... nothing's going to happen there.
Yeah. But they do see they're going to engage onto the Varus. However, that Black Shield is going to disengage it, but not enough. As Soul Shackles don't echo onto anybody, and Purple Team picks up that free kill.
Kassadin, that's just... one thing. It's Kassadin. He's, like, there's no other champion in the game that can make those sort of plays from that far away.
Xerath showing up though, catching the Kassadin, but not enough damage, as that Overgrowth is gonna keep him alive. However, Lulu putting herself out of position to save the Kassadin. She's looking, but she's gonna get stunned, and then taken down by the support Morgana.
That works though. That's good. That's a good choice by the Lulu there, letting herself die instead of the Kassadin. Now Kassadin can just farm a bit more, go back to base, and it seems like he's going to get the Rod of Ages and what else? Sorcerer's Boots maybe?
Should just be enough for the Rod, as he's got to get back and defend. Blue team pushing incredibly hard onto this tower. Nasa's continuing though in the top lane, just farming it out.
I'm very, very surprised Blue just keeping this this pressure on. I think Purple might be playing a bit too scared. I think they can win.
But there we see the binding coming out, not gonna land on anyone. Morgana's trying to make something happen, but they're all slow. The exhaust coming down onto the lane, and she's instantly gonna blow up. Varus picking up the kill.
There we see the Vayne Ghost.
Just like that.
Mordekaiser manages to do anything there.
Nasa's finally porting on back here and showing up to the fight, but Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. I think Blue Team's gonna go for it.
We'll see if they do the same mistake again. Blue Team...
there's the ward on over.
Blue Team very good at initiating, not so good at being initiated on. And that is their biggest problem, especially with champions like Vayne and Kassadin, who can very easily shut down your carries. They need to be very, very cautious when they take this dragon, or if they try at all.
You see that dragon comes up as Purple Team's going for it, and this might be exactly what Blue wants.
They're just gonna give it away, I guess.
Trying to pull it on out. They're waiting. We do see the Jarvan going on in, as well as the Varus Splash. And we see Cataclysm going down. They're going to be doing tons of damage. Purple Team trying to back out as Jarvan is stuck in there, cannot escape. And Nasus will be picking up the kill. And just like that, if you're not on the same page, you throw the dragon away.
That was certainly a questionable play by the Blue Team. Varus, or any carry in general, without an escape, should never flash into a pit like that. If he had backup, sure, but he was basically alone there with Jarvan, and Jarvan basically died instantly. Not very thought out, even though Xerath got some initial damage in there, it just wasn't enough, and Morgana did not even manage to put her soul shackles, just poorly played in general. And it seems like Dragon is blue team's weak point, so far at least.
That's very true. Every time blue has shown up to a dragon, they've lost 2 or more. They need to just let dragons go, or, you know, try to make something else happen. If they see purple's gonna go for the dragon, go push top, take a turret, take mid turret, apply pressure elsewhere so that you at least get something out of it. We do see blue team going up towards that Nasus now. We do see
this is looking bad.
the Varus is trying to do the damage as Nasus is gonna get everything dumped onto him. Everyone getting a piece of the pie except for Morgana, and he is gonna die.
They use a lot of
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
a lot of time and a lot of champions taking out the Nasus though, and that's going to be an easy mid lane for the purple team. And they're starting slowly but surely to stack up the gold in favor of themselves, and it's just going to get harder for blue team.
I agree. Elite Synergy is doing such a good job. They saw that they were going to dive the Nasus up in top, and they said, hey, forget it. Let's push mid. Let's make something positive happen out of this negative situation. And they took mid turret for it?
I might be wrong, but I think maybe Nasus could have teleported bot lane. But that depends if they had vision, which I don't think they did.
He could have dipped into the bush and absolutely teleported out, but too little too late now, isn't it?
Not sure. Perhaps they just jumped him before they managed to react to that. Either way, we'll see if blue team still manages to put the pressure up. Hopefully they stay away from dragons, because it seems to be a bad opening for them. Purple team, as a counterpart, has very good dragon control, and in general just seems to know when they pop up and plan ahead how they're going to take it.
And that's what you gotta do. As a team, you need to figure out what your battle plan is going to be. If it's, alright, we're gonna take bottom tower early, we're gonna go and do dragon right around 10 minutes, and then from that, we're just gonna keep fighting at dragons. And that's what purple team's doing. They have their own game plan, and they're sticking to it. They took that bottom tower, and, I mean, they were ready. They got the dragon as well. They're confident in their play, and that's what I like to see.
Yeah. Especially in objectives, I'm kind of interested to see if purple team is still going to try to avoid engages, because at this point I'm very sure purple could easily just wreck blue, I mean, but it depends if it really depends on how the initiation goes. They have some really scary lockdown with the Xerath and the Jarvan and the Varus.
And everything, as we see Kassadin going in on bottom. Just needs to dodge the stun, however, he is going to get landed on. Kassadin going in, picking up the kill, and walking out. Oh, but there's the teleport. Mordekaiser's trying, however, he was withered. What a great play from Nasus. He says, you're not going anywhere, pal. You are going to stay right where I left you, which is...
That was great. That was pretty funny. The wither actually going through the teleport there. And basically leaving top lane for Nasus to farm and push, and Mordekaiser no longer has teleport, which is also a very interesting thing to note.
Do you see that? Nasus has 312 stacks on that Q because he has been farming, and he knows that he's gonna die, so he's gonna go in right for that tower, and he's gonna get it.
That took a very long time. Nasus is becoming a monster at this point. He's going to be so scary. Of course, mentioning Vayne, got that Bloodthirster, the Avarice for the extra gold per minion kill, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And the Zeal, the Greaves. That is some serious damage. Vayne not being that popular anymore, still, you cannot underrate her, as basically having the title as the best late game carry since Season 2. She's always been a very great AD carry, and she is a force to be reckoned with.
I could not agree more. As long as you protect her, if you play Vayne, oh, and we do see The Orb of Ascension going on in. Cassidy is going to get locked down. It's just Vi diving in, as it is nothing but Vayne in the backline. We see the tons of damage coming out. Xerath in the backline. Oh, Jarvan solo, Cassidy solo, everybody. Mort going on in, does get polymorphed, and now he's stuck in between 4 members of Purple. That Wither, that is going to pick up a double kill for the Vayne, and she's continuing on. Varus was left alone in the whole fight, but the Purple team did not forget about him. And there's the slow, and there, as well as the power of Cassidy and that sheer chase. Just as you think you're gonna get away, no, not in my house. Cassidy comes in, force pulse, and it's over.
There we saw Vayne and Cassidy and a farm Nasus. Just such a strong composition, and even with the great plays from blue team, there are absolutely no bad players at all, but it's going to be really hard for them to beat these top tier champions, and this is going to be, again, a free and very easy dragon for the purple team, skyrocketing the gold even further. This is looking pretty dark at the moment for the blue team.
And this was exactly it. Blue needed to try and get those team fights to win them early, and if they don't win one big brawl, and it comes down to you've blown your cooldowns and now you need to run, well, you're never going to escape Purple Team. The Wither, constant slows, as well as the Cassidy who's able to show up right on top of your face and slow as well. You're not getting away.
Yeah, you can't run away from their team. Vayne having the passive, which gives her movement speed when people have their back turned to you, I believe, or when you're facing an enemy. Either case, the ultimate further amplifies that movement speed boost to crazy levels, basically like having a permanent ghost. We have the Cassidy, which famously has triple the flash range every, 4 seconds? Oh, we're seeing some crazy positioning from the purple team.
Oh, but Xerath gets engaged on instantaneously. Back pings all over the place, but too little, too late. Now Baron is on the table.
Now, very known thing about Vayne is she has one of the strongest Baron times. That percentage damage, no one can beat it basically, unless you're a Kog'Maw. I'm pretty sure. So we're seeing the Baron just melting, and blue team can't really do anything about it.
They're trying to, but Varus taking incredibly low and forced on out. However, Nasus from the backline. Purple team picking up the Baron, and this is now going to be a mad scramble, looking for as many kills as they can. That Morgana binding, though, will stop.
Sure, that was
any
a
more
teleport
chicks?
Behind, right?
No,
Behind
Nasus walked right on up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that works too. So, this is gonna be harsh for them.
Oh, we do see that engage.
Look at that.
And instantly exploding that Xerath. And that's just the burst damage that purple team has. Cassidy with the needlessly large rod. All he needs to do is go back to pick up the death cap. Lulu with a ton of burst, regardless if you think or not. And Scoop, Fat Kid, now 5-1, picking up yet another to that notch in his belt. And the head to his chain, whatever you'd like to say. And he's eating good tonight.
People, don't let Cassidy in unless you're gonna play him. Because I have not seen a Cassidy lose a game in a competitive scene in so long now. He's so strong. Like, you saw him having slight problems in the laning phase. They tried to shut him down by giving him a 1v2 lane. It didn't work. He does not have an amazing amount of farm. That does not matter. Because he can roam, he can get assists and kills alike. And he only needs a few core items. And then, as you can see, he just chunks people to amazing levels. And the worst part is, it's not like he's an immobile nuke, like, say, Veigar. No, he has... yeah, you could say he has the best mobility in the game.
I will completely agree to that statement.
Yeah, and that on a huge burst mage is one of the most scary things you can encounter, and we're seeing the force of that in this game.
Cassidy plays. Imagine a Fiddlesticks. You see Fiddlesticks, he's gonna chill over behind a wall, and you're like, okay, he's gonna show up. Well, that's the mentality you need to have all the time. Oh, but we do see the Vi going on in, using the Locket of Ascension. They're gonna be going to the Morgana. Soul Shackles coming out. Lulu trying to put down some hurt, some slows, but Jarvan shows up. They're gonna be going on to. Nope, Cassidy rifting out. Vayne in the back line doing a ton of damage. They are gonna pick up one kill and look on for more.
This might actually.
Oh, that dodge. Cassidon's picking up another. And that double kill coming out from Vayne. This is definitely going to be the end. Purple team's going to be pushing on to the turrets. And that is going to be Elite Synergy, racking up the first win of this basically 6-week tournament.
Yeah, it was pretty close there for a while. But as we were talking about, Purple Team just needed a few fights, and they had the game. Their team was superior once they got into that stage of the game. Now, a question is, would they be able? Would the blue team be able to win if they perhaps practiced their dragon strategy a bit better? Because that seemed to be the biggest flaw about this team.
That was the play that decided the early game. They went in, they wanted to do the dragon, but some form of communication, they were not on the same page. Purple team took the opportunity, said, wow, they're all at a quarter HP. Sure, there's only 2 of us. We have backup coming up. Vi went in, and they walked out at that fight 4 kills for nothing. And that was a great play, which just allowed them to snowball and keep that momentum going. Now, blue, don't get me wrong, they did make one big play happen right at the Wolves bush, and they tried to do it twice, but Lulu said, fool me once, that's my fault, fool me twice, yeah, that's not going to happen, and made sure.
Yeah, well, we saw even though they were 3-6 and a dragon down, they still held up the pressure, and it worked for the most part. But then they tried stopping that dragon over the wall there, and that was the crumbling point for the team. Not very well planned out, and you should never flash in as a Varus into a dragon pit. Just some friendly advice.
I was a little surprised.
Overall, yeah.
Caught me off guard. But hey, at that point, if you were going to see a whole 5 pentaflash over from blue team and they started the fight, sure. But you brought over your 80 carry and your tank, and that was just a slap in the face.
Basically. Of course, being prioritized considering he has the smite. So, overall, good play from both teams. Purple team having just more objective control in general, but yeah, I like the early game there. I could not tell who would win that fight from the start.
I like the different lane change too, and this is why casting these games where for PulseFire Gaming, their LCS, it's all bronze and below. Or not, sorry, gold and below, not bronze, dear goodness.
God, bronze and below would be terrifying.
Woo! That would cause for a lot of actions and some crazy snowball games. It is gold and below, however, there is a stipulation where you are allowed to have a platinum in there, and they... Even though they're golds, you can't judge them. They're playing very well.
Yeah. Now, most golds, when you're at gold, most people want to improve. Because usually people in gold have been in silver. And they play ranked and try to improve it themselves that way. Now, think of it this way. Purple team, they're like our children.
Do explain.
Create the meta. Okay? Now, of course, the pro player is having a huge influence, but in the end, it's just going to be the players who are newer to the game that find these interesting strategies. Some will just be frowned upon, of course, being perhaps just bad in general, but some stuff works. Like some pro player tried, what was it? Top Vayne, I believe? That worked out.
Very true.
People hated it for a while. League of Legends is very meta based, but if you're playing a normal with some friends, just try out some crazy stuff. It might actually work.
That's the thing. When you shake up the meta and you throw something in somebody's face that they have not seen before, people don't know how to react to it.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing. When I watched the LCS, I had no idea what was happening. I was watching tops being bought against AD carry and support, turrets being taken in like 4 minutes, and I was like, whoa, that must be the first time. No, that was the normal.
Yeah.
Like I can't even in the competitive scene right now. It's very popular to just do wacky stuff, so much that they actually had to nerf the bot turret, which was pretty funny. It's overall just nice to see competitive scene move a bit out of the meta that League has been in for like 3 years now. It's interesting. It's fun to watch.
We're going to have to see where it continues on in the future. But for the meantime, we are going to take a short break while we get everything all organized for you. We will be back. The next teams that are going to be playing is Event Horizon Gaming versus Dark Hedo, or Hadoo Gaming. That will be brought to you Game 2 of PulseFire Gaming's LCS. This is Week 1 with 5 more weeks to go before the championship. So if you will, just hang on.